On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
And welcome to the 200th episode!
Woo! 200th! That is so crazy.
Isn't that wild to think that we've done this 200 times?
200 times, and we just still have so much to talk about.
200 coffin spinners. 400 coffin spinners.
400 coffin spinners. 400 dumbass criminals.
I can't do the math on that because there's 3 times 2 times. Okay, in honor of 200 episodes, we are doing a really big, hot giveaway for you guys.
A big, hot one, and it's not the big, hot book.
Well, it is the big, hot book.
But there's another book?
A big, hot MacBook.
Ooh!
Okay, so all you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you could be the lucky winner of a brand new MacBook Air, as well as a signed copy of the New York Times bestseller, Obituary, The Big Hot Book of Death.
2 great, essential books.
Equal in worth.
Equal in value.
International Geooooffs, this one is not for you. This is U.S. only. Okay.
With the political climate, we can
due to the current tariff situation unfolding in America, no, we just won't pay for the shipping, baby.
Honey,
we're not doing it.
to ship the books internationally.
Oh my god!
Oh my!
When we did that, we did the giveaway for the Big Hot Book of Death, and there was some international on there, and each one was like $200
Yeah.
to send it. Remember?
For less than a pound
a book, please.
Damn.
So if you want to enter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@obituarypodcast.
And I am going to sign up as well because I need a new computer very bad. You've seen the state of mine.
Yeah, you do need. I mean, you can buy one. You can afford one.
Yeah.
So we'll be announcing the winner on May 5th. So you have from now until then to enter.
That is a Monday.
Yeah.
Monday, May 5th. Start your week out right. Maybe start your week out with a new MacBook.
Yeah. Start your week out as a winner.
Start your week out as a computer owner.
Ooh. I'm also really excited because tomorrow we're going to record an episode
of Ghost Bunny.
With the iconic Bridget Marquardt. And you may recognize her from Girls Next Door.
Yes, she was the best one.
Yeah, our fave of the trio. No, we're really excited. It's going to be so much fun. And where we're recording is going to be really cool too.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. So we'll let you know when that comes out.
And can we talk about what else came out?
What else came out?
Well,
your belly button at the valet's.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Your clam.
My full bush.
Okay.
Bush out last week.
If you'll refer to last week's video, if you watch along, Madison was wearing this jean dress, and Madison is...
No, it was like a jean skirt.
Yeah. Well, Madison notoriously does not wear underwear. It's true. You put it all out there.
I know.
And
I just hate it. I don't want anything up my butt.
We were recording like a little promo video for that episode. And we recorded it after we were, done recording for the day or whatever. And so it was like full body because we were using an iPhone. And that night, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to go through and edit this. And I am looking at it and something happens. And
Well, first of all, it looked like I intentionally did it.
yeah,
It looked
she
very
is
intentional.
looking at the camera like, whoosh, whoosh. Madison flies open her skirt and her full clam is out. Nothing under. Full clam is out. And I sent it.
Full bush.
I sent the video to her and I was like, hey, girl.
So actually, your whole pussy was out. I showed Cisco and he was like, what the fuck? And he was like, poor Spencer that he had to witness that. Like, that is traumatizing.
Well, I went back to laugh too because like you were just having a moment last week, and when we were done recording, one of your eyes was so much smaller than the
No,
other.
I was in a great mood. I had a great time last week, but I think I've been under a lot of stress, and coming here doesn't feel stressful. This is like, oh, okay, normalcy. But the effects of stress sometimes take place and you have no idea. And we were filming, and Spencer's like, why is one of your eyes so small?
It was significant.
Literally,
if we could put the picture in.
Yeah, if we can. Do we have a picture?
Yeah. Well, I have the video, so we're gonna have to be careful.
Yeah, we're gonna zoom. One of my eyes so small, the other one big, like Popeye trying to record.
It's like, are you having a stroke right now? Like,
well, I
what's
told
going
you
on?
the other night. I was like, I keep smelling burning.
Oh yeah, I never followed up with that. I woke up in the morning. I had a text from Madison that was like, "Hey girly, so I keep smelling burnt. So if I cross over, just bye."
Because Cisco's in Texas again this week, and so I was like, who do I tell? And so I was like, if you don't hear from me, it means I've crossed over, like, just so you know. And he's like, oh, okay, girl.
I said, "Okay, text me if you wake up."
And I didn't. I never did.
Nope. And here she is. We've summoned her. We brought her back from the dead.
Yes. In heaven, they don't let me wear skirts. Oh, wait. We need to talk about, we had a date on Monday.
Yes.
You were in my neck of the woods, so we went to lunch. And then we went to your vintage rack at Goods on Orange.
Yeah.
And you had to do some restocking, and I got to see it. And there is this jacket that I've been pining for on the...
Since I had the rack, since I started that.
I've loved it. It's the coolest Western like suit jacket. And it's like a taupe color. It's beautiful. It has some leather, it has some like corduroy. It's so cool. And yeah, I have just always been pining for it. But you're like, okay, just try it on and I'll get it for you. Like, don't worry. Just like you've been wanting this, just try it on. And I tried it on, and full blown used car salesman.
She's a Doug Dimmadome or whatever. She's like, "Dude, come on down to buy the car. Come on, buy the car this weekend. Gotta buy the car this weekend. Come on down."
He was giving Cal Worthington.
Yeah.
Go see Cal.
Oh, shit.
God.
I know. Well, that didn't work out, but God, I'm so annoyed that you don't watch White Lotus because
well, I do. I just
so good.
I haven't watched this season.
Here's what I want to say. People are furious over the finale of this season, and
people were pissed about last season.
People are mad always. I mean, here's the thing about people in 2025.
Yeah.
They're mad.
Wait, did you watch season 2?
No, I need to go back and watch season 2 now. I watched the first season. I didn't watch season 2, and then...
Because one person carries over to season 3, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw snippets of season 2. I just didn't watch it. Like, I feel like it was one of those times where I just had it on, but I never paid attention to it.
Okay.
But I do want to go back and watch it, especially now because we're going to Italy in like 2 weeks after this goes out.
You have to.
We have a tour of the catacombs and everything, and I can't.
You need to film it.
Cheese. I know, I will.
Just take pictures and document it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some content out there, some content ideas.
Some write-offs.
Yeah, some coffin spinners. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna write off the whole trip. Actually, I needed to go. I needed to see the catacomb, please.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I'm so excited. We're going to Italy, and I'll talk about the trip after the trip.
Yes.
But
Okay, wait. Sorry. Back to White Lotus, the finale.
oh yeah, I thought it was fine. I thought it was a very normal finale.
I heard it was shocking.
I mean, yeah, like it's always shocking because it's like, I mean, every season of White Lotus is like a build up to like,
And then it ends.
yeah.
It's not like, oh, this is going to keep going.
People, I mean, but then you start looking at what people online are saying. This is the problem. Herein lies the issue. You go online and then you start seeing everyone's opinions. They're like, oh, they should have done this or should have done this. And everyone, sometimes you read it and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, they should have done this or they should have answered why this happened. But I wasn't
can't make
mad when I
everyone
finished
happy.
it.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Another thing we watched last weekend. I was like, can we watch The Mask? I haven't seen it in forever.
Yes, so good.
It's so timeless. It's
yeah.
so good. Cameron Diaz is so fucking hot in
It's-
that movie.
She's never looked better.
It's so good.
So good.
What about you?
Well, I have been packing up the house.
Not underwear, apparently.
Packing up the house. Wait, did you see? We lost a couple people this week.
Oh.
Val Kilmer.
Uh-huh.
We also.
Oh, we watched the Batman. I think
Oh.
it's Batman Returns, right? Is the one that he's in. Also super good.
Yeah, the Batman movies are good. You guys need to watch Penguin.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking good. It is.
I know.
It
I was
is.
thinking of, you know that picture I have of you at Target wearing the snowman hat?
I look like the penguin.
It's my favorite picture.
God.
I'm going to send it to her too to put in this video. We'll
Oh.
see if she does it.
I will. And then the drummer for Blondie died.
Oh,
Really sad. At 70 years old of cancer.
sad.
I know.
I feel like someone else died.
Somebody else did die, and it will be my side bitch.
Okay. This week did feel like it flew by, but I think part of it is this beautiful weather that we're having.
Oh my God.
Vacation vibes.
Vacation vibes. You know, the only thing that I can grow is a cactus. Like, I
Uh-huh.
do not have a green thumb.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of cactus or cacti at home. And because we're moving, I'm like putting them into pots that I really love and getting rid of ones that I don't love. And I am super allergic to them. Look, the rash on my arm is from the sap.
You've had that on your leg before from the cacti.
No, remember it was from I was like running through a bush
Oh my God, yes.
and it fucked me up and I had
Yeah.
to take my clothes off and God.
Maybe you just have like a thing for that.
I'm just all fucked up. What's the juju? What's the juju? Let's clear it.
Remember that pastor and he's like, COVID-19.
No, you probably spread it.
Okay.
Okay, we're back in it. Okay, we are stalling. Listen here, everybody.
They are. That's the point. Do you have a listener email? Speaking of listens.
Oh, boy, do I. Someone sent us an article from Bree. She said, thought this was interesting and I'd share. Madison, you have inspired. What? Not on my rash! Oh no! What'd you do? Well, now I'm all wet. I didn't know I was in the splash zone. Put it away! Damn. What does that say? Colt stupid?
Oh my God. Cult of Stupid. Cult Babes, you'll remember this sticker probably if you've been around for a while. So I used to have like a Twitter account. I
Mhm.
deleted it.
Why?
I don't know. I shouldn't have. In terms of marketing, that account had like 40,000 followers.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I think I just deleted it.
Maybe when it became X.
No one was like going on it anymore. I felt like.
Twitter's scary too. You never know what you're gonna see.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No. But I had like a bigger account at the time, but somebody like retweeted something of mine. It was like more like Cult of Stupid. And so I made Cult of Stupid stickers and sold them.
I love that.
And so I was cleaning out my office the other day, just going through the drawers, and I found one of them, and I was like, I've never been a put a sticker on a water bottle type of person.
Why not start?
I'm starting.
It's 2025.
One of you guys also gave me this Rootin' Tootin' sticker.
Let me see. Very cute.
And so I have that on my Stanley.
Stanley girl.
Remember?
No.
What are those? What are they called?
I don't know.
Hello.
Hi, Bean. What are you doing?
Hi. Just chilling.
I'm recording with Madison right now. I have a Hydro Flask in my hand. I'm trying to remember, what are those?
Stanley, not
Oh,
a
a Stanley. What are they called when the girls that go like?
What, like a Visco girl?
Is that what it
Oh,
was?
Visco.
Yeah.
Oh, the like VSCO.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
of course.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Boop. And that's called investigative journalism.
Oh, wow. Look
And
at you.
I love having a 20-year-old sister because
Yeah.
I can fucking call her
Mhm.
or text her and I'll be like, what's this?
Yep.
Who's this? Remember when we were in Phoenix and we had Tana Mojo
Yes.
in our green room and I didn't know who it was. So we sent her a picture and
Uh-huh.
we're like, who is
Yeah.
this?
Yep. I know. I feel that way about having a niece who's 21.
Yeah.
Or now 22, but
And she's moving to Chicago.
moving to Chicago, I know.
We got to go there.
Remember I sent her a video of me in like a new pair of jeans? And I was like, are these like cool?
Uh-huh.
And they were the ones you took a picture of me from the back and were like, do you know what they look like?
That's a good friend.
I know. No, I know. They got donated.
They were just like Janko jeans, kind of.
They're
But not
baggy.
cool.
Yeah, no. No.
Listen, Madison slays a lot of the time. You do.
Girl.
You do. You have a good sense of style. Not right now.
Look at it.
No. No. Don't. No, but you do have a good sense of style sometimes, and just those were crazy. We keep it real with each other. I'll wear shit sometimes. She'll be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, that's what I want in a best friend. I don't want you to bullshit me.
No, because we want to look good.
No, and I also, well, yeah, of course.
It's probably really high on our priority
It's
list.
probably number one.
But no one was telling us anything on that first tour.
No one could. Nobody could. I was in denial. Like the river, honey.
Same. God.
Okay, so I have a listener email, or it's like an article from Bree, and it says, thought this was interesting and that I'd share. Madison, you have inspired some women out there. Ooh. This is from USA Today. It says, death becomes her. More women are becoming funeral directors.
God.
I love that
I love
so
that
much.
so much.
Because, and they'll talk about it in this, but it is primarily such a male dominated field for some reason.
Huh.
And it says, Elise Warland was a child when she went to a family member's funeral. His presentation was not pleasant, she said. It was unacceptable, and it was very traumatic for the family. Warland, just 9 years old, made up her mind that she wanted to become a funeral director to spare other families the pain hers had experienced. When she was older, she knocked on the doors of every funeral home in her rural Indiana county. She was turned away each time, she said, until she came to one with a female funeral director.
Oh.
She taught me the basics, Warland said. It was a great example of one woman opening a door for another one. Today, Warland is vice president of Locke and Veldhoff Funeral and Cremation Service, a small family-owned firm in Indianapolis and a member of the National Funeral Directors Association.
Very cool.
She's also one of a growing number of women breaking ground in a field that was once considered a man's domain. working with the dead for the benefit of the living. In 2022, 77% of the more than 7,000 students enrolled in funeral service education programs in the U.S. were women.
I love that.
I love that too. That's what men do, right? Lene Strovers, like Warland, became a funeral director after seeing how not to do the job. See, no offense, but if you want something done right, a woman's got to do it.
Yup, except for driving a car.
Flying an airplane.
Flying an airplane. Okay. And voting.
Damn, the trifecta.
Just kidding about part of that. And you can figure out which one.
I had a very good friend, and he passed away in tragic circumstances, and the funeral was horrific. It just didn't have anything to do with him. You could just tell there wasn't a lot of effort that was put into it. Upset by the experience, she Googled how to become a funeral director, and a new career was born. She is now a funeral director for Hamilton Funeral Homes in Des Moines and a trainer for the National Funeral Directors Association.
Very cool.
She knew the industry was traditionally male-dominated. Her father said, "That's what men do, right?" when she told her parents about her new career. It's one of those things that in the last couple years has been really challenging, she said. The traditional funeral is kind of going to the side. She and Warland said people are searching for more individualized funerals that reflect their values and identities. And we're probably to blame. Partly. People want that more creative, almost the party planning aspect of it, and a lot more of grief therapy and follow-up.
Yeah.
Said Strovers, who started a nonprofit, The Final Salute, to help veterans and their family members whose remains go unclaimed. Warland has been in the funeral industry for 16 years. She holds degrees in mortuary science and management, and she has seen the changes in who's entering the business. I've seen a lot of younger women, but also women who go into this as a second career who find their calling later, she said. Once a vocation that was passed down through families, funeral services are attract more first-generation students, such as her and Strovers. She sees women's traditional role as caregivers as an advantage, noting that before hospitals, hospices, and nursing homes, the dying were usually cared for and tended to at home by women, wives, mothers, aunts, daughters. I think of it as coming full circle, she said. People see women as more compassionate, and we have a different eye for things. She concedes she has encountered some discrimination, mostly from people who think she can't handle the physical demands of the job. Asked whether people have had any misconceptions, she joked, "We don't all look like Lurch from the Addams Family."
Is that a picture of her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's cute.
She said she wants more people to understand that we have lives outside of the funeral home and we are fighting our own battles. Helping others process their loss and grief can take an emotional toll on funeral workers too, she said. But we love our families and we love our communities, and that's what it's really about. There's a reason we're here. We are here to guide you, and we'll be there every step of the way.
Good for her.
I know. I'll link it. It goes on. It's kind of a long article.
I love someone just, coming into an industry that they're passionate about, and especially an industry like this, and just kind of breaking the glass ceilings a little bit.
Yeah. I love a once male-dominated thing kind of level out and become a little more equal. And it does make sense with the caregiver thing. I mean, I think men can absolutely have a sensitive side and be caregivers, but I feel like it's kind of innate in women.
Yeah, I agree.
In most women, we have, there are some monsters.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Also, I saw a TikTok of this woman talking about how, and I found some articles on it. They're like how talking to your dead loved one is so therapeutic for grief, I guess. It was really interesting.
Yeah. I feel like any time too, like it made me think of when you were talking about it being like a male dominated field and like if she's gotten like pushback or whatever, because it reminds me one of my best friends is an attorney and she every day gets like emails to her that always say, "Dear Mr. blah, blah, blah." Even if she's like already emailed these people before and she always screenshots them. It's like,
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You just assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just assume.
Yep.
You should never assume.
You
Never.
Make an ass out of you and me.
And speaking of assholes,
There you have it.
bloop. This first one says, am I the asshole for telling my fiance I don't want her to wear her late husband's wedding ring during our ceremony?
Okay.
I, 30 male, am engaged to Emily, 30 female, and we're getting married this fall. I love her deeply, and I've never been more sure about anything in my life. That said, there's one thing that's been eating at me, and I'm not sure if I'm being selfish or just honest. Emily was married once before to a guy named Tyler. They got married young in their early 20s, and he passed away in a car accident about 5 years ago. It was sudden and tragic, and from everything I've heard, they were truly in love.
Oh.
I met Emily 2 years after his death. At first, she was very open about it, and I respected that. I knew coming into this relationship that I wasn't her first great love, and I was okay with that. I still am, mostly. Over the years, I've supported her through her moments of grief, anniversaries, random waves of sadness. She still visits his grave on his birthday, and she keeps a box of his things in our closet. I've never touched it. She's shown me a few pictures of them together, and I've listened to her talk about what kind of person he was. I've tried really hard to respect that part of her life while also building our own, which brings me to now. A few weeks ago, Emily told me she plans to wear Tyler's wedding ring on a chain around her neck on our wedding day. She explained it as a quiet tribute, not something she wants to announce or make a big deal about, just something personal. She said she wouldn't be where she is now without having gone through that loss, and she feels like carrying that part of her story into this new chapter. I didn't say much at the time because I didn't know how to respond, but the more I sat with it, the more it bothered me, so I finally told her how I felt. I said, I want our wedding day to be a celebration of us, and it's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea of her wearing another man's wedding ring, even if he's gone. I told her it makes me feel like I'm sharing the most important day of my life with someone who's not there, and I said it makes me feel like second place. She got very quiet and told me she wasn't choosing him over me and that she's allowed to honor her past while still moving forward. She said grief isn't a door you close, it becomes part of who you are, and I get that. I really do, but at the same time, I don't think I'm asking something outrageous by wanting this one day, our day, to be about the life we're building together, not the one she lost. Since then, there's been a weird tension between us. She hasn't brought it up again, but she hasn't said she's changed her mind either. I feel like the bad guy, like I'm trying to erase someone important to her, but I'm also struggling with the idea of standing at the altar and knowing she's literally carrying a symbol of her first marriage as she says her vows to start a new one with me. I've told no one in my life about this, not my friends, not my family, because I know how it might sound, but internally, it's tearing me up. I don't want to hurt her. I definitely don't want to start a marriage with resentment or guilt, but am I wrong for what I said? I haven't asked her to not wear it explicitly, but I made it clear I'm not super comfortable with it. Am I the asshole?
You know what's funny? In almost every Am I the Asshole that's kind of like this, like, oh, I have an ex who passed away and I honor them and whatever, I'm usually on the side of like, no, your new partner should absolutely help you honor them and be okay with it. The person is passed on. But in this situation, I'm kind of on this person's side of like, you know, there's one thing, maybe it could be her something old if she was like trying to do like traditional something old, something blue, something borrowed, something new. And I see a lot of people like sew things into their dress. Like if she wanted it private, she could maybe sew it into her dress. But I understand like standing at the altar and like
seeing
looking
it around her neck.
I'd probably want to rip it off or something. I would be
because it's from their first wedding too.
Yeah.
And it sounds like this person, at least from what they're saying, has been so supportive of her grief journey.
Totally.
And like sounds like a really solid partner. So
and sounds like he's in a shitty situation. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. He doesn't want to hurt her.
If you're not comfortable with something, you should be allowed to say that.
Especially on your wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one, I had to look something up because I didn't know what it meant. It said, am I the asshole for not letting my wife's AP go to her funeral?
Oh, hold on. Let me try to guess what AP is because I know this. It's something partner.
Mm-hmm.
Not romantic. It's atypical.
It's a fair partner.
Oh, I didn't know that. That is atypical, honey.
It says, am I the asshole for not letting my wife's affair partner go to her funeral? My wife passed away. She was in a car accident. We had been separated for a few months, and this was due to her wanting to be with her affair partner. They had been together for about 1.5 years, and they told me that they had genuinely been in love. The divorce hasn't been finalized, so legally speaking, I'm responsible for my wife's body.
I'm so sorry, but that is so respectful saying AP. I would say AP would stand for like asshole,
whole-
pussy,
yeah,
fart or something.
fuck.
Yeah.
We have 2 kids. Both of them are in their teens. They've been a mess, and I can't say I'm much better. At one point, I was so angry at my wife that I wanted her to get hurt, and now I find myself wishing she was still here and our kids. I've been making arrangements for the funeral, and the affair partner has reached out to me on social media asking if he could know when we're going to have a funeral or a memorial service or something, and I told him to fuck off. I keep justifying this. I'm trying to keep my family from falling apart, and I've been dealing with the funeral cost. There's just so much I need to do, but I'd be lying if I said part of me didn't wish for this guy to hurt. And then he added an edit that said, AP means affair partner. This is the guy my wife has been cheating on me with for over a year. You're not the asshole. I would also say
No.
fuck off, and he doesn't deserve to be there because funerals are for the living, and nope.
He can mourn her in his own way.
Yeah.
Your kids don't need to fucking see that either.
No, he can go do that in secret like he did when he was having an affair with your wife.
He obviously prefers secrets.
Yeah.
So,
Shady ass.
yeah.
No, I would absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
I'd be like, no, even if you wanted to do it respectfully, I'd be like, actually, my kids and our family's going to be there, and no one's super comfortable with. No, just no.
No, but it's also really real what he said about like, I'd assume I would feel that way too, of like loving your wife, wanting, grieving her, grieving the good parts of her, but then also hating her too. Or like,
Just because
hurting.
somebody dies, it doesn't automatically clear all the good they did or all the bad they did.
Mhm.
Like, there's still memories there. There's
complicated.
Yeah, that's a super complicated situation that I don't think anyone should be in. And I think the last thing he needs is the person who made his life super complicated coming in and trying to complicate it after his wife has passed.
Yeah, but the person who made it really complicated is,
The wife.
yeah.
Yeah. Nope.
Don't even have a funeral for her. She doesn't deserve it. Just kidding.
Well, honestly, take yourself on a vacation, babe.
Uh-huh.
No, they have kids together. I would do it for the kids.
Of course. And yeah, like you said, I'm sure she was lovely when she wasn't
Being a whore.
being a fucking floozy. I just am sick of it. I'm not letting anybody walk all over me.
No. Well, that solves that. I'm up first this week. You got a little side bitch for us?
Yes, I do. I have a side bitch. It's actually sad. This is from NPR. Spencer, you're going to love this one.
Okay.
I chose this just for you. Jay North, who starred as the tow-headed mischief maker on TV's Dennis the Menace for 4 seasons starting in 1959, has died.
Aww.
He was 73, which when I read that, I was like, I thought that was so much older, but I guess not.
Yeah,
That
no.
makes sense.
Yeah, because he was just a kid.
Yeah. North died Sunday at his home in Lake Butler, Florida, after battling colon cancer, said Lori Jacobson, a longtime friend, and Bonnie Vent, who was his booking agent. He had a heart as big as a mountain, loved his friends deeply. He called us frequently and ended every conversation with, I love you with all my heart. North was 6 when he was cast as the smiling troublemaker in the CBS sitcom adaptation of Hank Ketchum's popular comic strip that took place in an idyllic American suburb. Often wearing a striped shirt and overalls, Dennis' mischievous antics frequently frustrated his retired next-door neighbor, George Wilson, played by Joseph Kearns. Dennis...
Yes.
Yep.
Slingshots.
Uh-huh. Dennis's patient parents were played by Herbert Anderson and Gloria Henry. The show ran on Sunday nights until it was canceled in 1963. After that, it was a fixture of decades in syndication. Later, North appeared on TV shows including The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Lucy Show, My 3 Sons, Lassie, and The Simpsons, and in movies like Maya, The Teacher, and Dickie Robert, former child star. North is
Oh
survived.
my God, I forgot he did that.
Yeah. North is survived by his 3rd wife, Cindy, and 3 stepdaughters.
Aw, rest in peace, Dennis the Menace.
Rest in peace, little cutie.
Aw.
Well, no, he was a little
He
bad
was a
boy.
little menace,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
let's go take a break.
Yeah, we're going to go take a break and practice our slingshots. And when we come back,
Remember I had one in my purse?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I remember
remember
we
what-
were at the PF Chang's
Yeah.
and you pulled it out of your purse and I was like, why do you have a slingshot in
Not a
there?
clue why.
Yeah, that was crazy. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'll tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, Madison. So, in last week's episode, I covered the wild story of Farrar, the Frenchman who was never full.
That was a wild story.
Isn't that wild?
That was crazy.
I still think about it.
Me too.
I briefly mentioned in that episode that during a failed mission, the Prussians performed a mock execution on him.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Are you okay?
So this week, I decided to do a little deep dive into mock executions because I was like, how perfect.
Okay.
What a great coffin spinner idea.
No, I've never heard of these before.
All right, we'll start with a little story time. Okay, so Geooooffs, picture it, you're blindfolded, your hands are bound, and you can feel the cold stone beneath your knees. And somewhere nearby, you hear people shuffling around. An executioner's voice reads your name. A sentence has been declared. Death.
Oh my God.
You can hear them loading a gun, and then it's silent, and you brace yourself, just waiting for the executioner to do his job. And
Okay.
just when you expect the gun to go off, nothing.
Okay.
You're not dead. Not yet.
Are you in on this?
No. So we've discussed all kinds of execution methods on this show. And so a mock execution is exactly what it sounds like. A person is led to believe that they're about to be killed with all of the dread, the drama, everything, only to be spared in the last possible second.
Oh, fuck. Wait, our coffin spinners go well together.
Do they?
They do.
Okay. So these weren't just scare tactics. I mean, they've been used as a scare tactic before, but mock executions were used to punish, to extract confessions from people that they thought were guilty of a crime, or just to break people down, or sometimes just plainly to make a point. Sometimes they were staged for political reasons, sometimes for religious repentance back in the day.
Oh.
And other times just because someone felt like playing God.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And I know this sounds like some medieval king shit, but this is something that still very much happens in the modern world as well.
Really?
And I have some stories we're going to talk about that span across the centuries. And I want to kick us off with the story of Fyodor Dostoevsky. So Fyodor was a Russian novelist and journalist, mostly known for authoring Crime and Punishment in 1866. He was born in Moscow in 1821, and he was in his 20s when he started mingling with other elite writers in the area. Like, he had started releasing his writings and it was kind of taking off. But as his social status grew, so did his problems. In 1849, so this is years before he wrote Crime and Punishment, when he was still early on in his career, he was 28 years old when he was arrested for belonging to this literary group that got together to discuss banned books. And as a result, he was sentenced to death.
Fuck.
Literally just for talking about banned books. So he and his fellow rebels were imprisoned, they were sentenced to death, and they were marched out into the freezing Russian air. They were blindfolded, tied to stakes, and the firing squad raised their rifles.
Oh, God.
The orders were shouted, and just before the guns went off, it was called to a halt. It turns out that they didn't intend to proceed with the execution. The powers that be, Tsar Nicholas I, who organized the mock execution, purely wanted to make a spectacle out of it. Like, listen, if you're gonna fucking go against us,
Okay.
we're gonna make you think that you're gonna die.
That's fucked up.
Like, his whole point too of like he wanted to be the one to call it off because he wanted to make this big show, like, I spared your lives in the final moments, but in all actuality it was just like a big lesson that he wanted to teach not only the banned book club but also all the people watching.
Feels like history repeats itself.
Yeah, fully. But his message was very clear. Again, it's like, disrespect us and we'll blow your fucking head off.
I mean, wow. That's crazy.
So Fyodor had so much PTSD from this incident that it psychologically fucked him up, obviously. I don't think you can go through a situation like that and come out completely unscathed.
You know, all I'm thinking about is that one escape room that we had to do, and we had to put hoods over our head, and the guy changed his voice and like, locked us up.
Psychologically fucked him up, once writing, "The certainty of death and the uncertainty at what moment it will come is the most terrible feeling." Girl, I'd be shitting my pants if someone was like, "It's over.
It's over. You're going to die," and then you prepare for it in those minutes, and then fuck.
So he was spared, obviously, from being executed, but he was still sentenced to 4 years in a Siberian prison camp and 6 years of military service, all just for fucking discussing banned books, which is so crazy.
Scary.
He died in 1881 at the age of 59 from a pulmonary hemorrhage after years of battling poor health, including epilepsy and emphysema. And on his deathbed, he asked for the same gospel book that he carried with him during his imprisonment, which was a quiet reminder of the day he thought he was going to die. So just shows the lasting effects here. But there is also a conspiracy theory. Some people believe that he was actually poisoned due to his radical ideas and growing influence at the time. There's no proofs of this, but I guess that was like a big rumor at the time because he died. He was only 59 years old when he died.
Oh, I see. Okay. That he didn't die of a pulmonary.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. Or it wasn't natural.
Yeah. Then I want to go back to the Spanish Inquisition.
Okay.
I mean, obviously this was...
I feel like that brought about a lot of...
infamously a horrific time for people. There was a lot of burnings, there was a lot of torture chambers, and also a taste for psychological domination. And so mock executions were huge during this time. Like, you think about, like, I don't know, you hear all the reasons for people being executed back in the day, and it's always for the dumbest reasons that you just cannot picture now. And back then, especially during the Spanish Inquisition, a lot of it was around, like, religion.
Right.
And so people that were anti or that had other religious beliefs.
Anybody that went against the majority was... an
enemy.
Yeah.
As a result, you could be locked away for days or weeks, starved, interrogated, and then finally you're pulled from your cell. They put you in a San Benito, which is a robe marked with flames or devils, and they kind of take you on this shame walk through town.
Shit.
They march you through the town and everyone's just like talking shit to you like you're like a bad teen on Maury. That's like what it feels like. Just like being walked through.
Those episodes where they have to go to jail. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they take you towards the public square where all the stakes loom, and then you're tied up to the stakes. They would literally tie people to the stakes. They would pile up wood around them, and then they would light the wood on fire like they were going to publicly burn you at the stake.
Yeah.
And then just as the smoke was starting to rise, the officials would call it off and like halt it and be like, we're spared your life.
Oh, fuck.
Now come believe what we believe. But this is something that's often referred to as submission theater, which is religious horror staged for mass consumption. A faith-based psychological torture show, essentially designed not to just punish people, but also terrify people so that they won't speak out against whatever speaking out against. For a more modern example, I want to talk about this piece of shit named Valentina Gomez, who made headlines last year when during her run for Secretary of State in Missouri, she released a campaign video where she performed a mock execution on a dummy, and that dummy was supposed to represent a migrant.
What?
Yeah, this is very real. There's an article from The Independent. It says, quote, aspiring congresswoman and controversial MAGA cheerleader Valentina Gomez has sparked outrage once again after posting a video in which she appears to simulate executing an immigrant. The 25-year-old who tried and failed to be elected as the Missouri Secretary of State earlier this year said in the disturbing clip that undocumented persons who commit violent crimes deserve to be ended. In the video posted to X on Monday, Gomez is seen firing a handgun into the back of the head of a dummy tied to a chair with a black bag over its head. It's that simple. Public executions for any illegal that rapes or kills an American. They don't deserve deportation. They deserve to be ended, she says. And like, obviously, if somebody is a rapist or a murderer, there should be, there's repercussions that happen.
Yeah, we're not saying that that is wrong. What we're saying is
It's
you
the-
don't single out a migrant
Yeah.
and you don't breed by releasing that.
Well, because
so
I
much
think
more
everyone
racism
would
and
agree if they
hate.
were like public executions for rapists or murderers. It'd be
There
like,
are some people I would love
Yeah.
to watch be
Yes.
publicly executed.
Same. Bring back the guillotine. You know what I mean?
I'm not holier than thou. I'm
No.
like, some people need to be put
Taken off
down.
this earth.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. But yeah, it's the fact that she was like pinpointing immigrants that
Yeah.
it's just like, God, you're just a piece
Just
of
like
shit.
really dangerous rhetoric.
Well, because then, yeah,
Mhm.
everyone sees that and they're like, oh, so this is okay to do.
Yeah.
It sparked a lot of outrage from social media users, some branding the Colombian native as a psychopath. Critics even included the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, who wrote, she's not just an American fascist, she's a Colombian, and being a migrant, what she wants is to unleash hatred against migrants. Most Americans are killed by Americans. The League of United Latin American Citizens, the nation's largest Latino civil rights group, condemned Gomez for glorifying the type of vigilantism that has led to deadly consequences in our nation and feeds into an anti-immigrant lie. But there were obviously people online who agreed with her too, including Laura Loomer, who's another fucking
Have you
nut
seen
job,
her chin going
who
around?
posted, "Love this."
Fucking
She
bitch.
said, I give people hope. Remember, nobody's coming to save us. Stay strapped, she said. Again, stay strapped. We support the Second Amendment.
Of
but
course.
It's the messaging is very clear here. This article also says during the 2024 election campaign, she called Vice President Kamala Harris a hoe and a little bitch and used the word faggot to describe transgender people and described Democrats as full of gay shit, among other things. So she's reckless out
She's
there,
hateful.
actually. Just a stupid bitch. And for what? Because she got 7% of the vote when she ran. Just
Girl.
a loser. And then we have another infamous story, which I believe we may have touched on here. I'm not sure, but this is a story about a man in Alabama who experienced a mock execution, except it was very much intended to be a real execution.
Okay.
I'm going to give us the background of the story because I know we didn't talk about this, but in 1988, this man named Kenneth Smith was hired as part of a murder for hire plot in Alabama.
Okay.
And the victim was Elizabeth Sennett, a 45-year-old woman living in Colbert County. Her husband, Charles Sennett, was a Church of Christ preacher, but behind the scenes, he was in some serious debt. He had an AP, okay? He had an affair partner.
Okay.
And to get out of his financial mess, he put out a life insurance policy on his wife, Elizabeth, and then he hired Kenneth Smith and this other guy, John Parker, to kill her so that he could get the insurance payout. And so on March 18th of 1988, they went to the Sennett home and they were like, oh, we're just here to do some work on the house. And once they got inside, they beat and stabbed Elizabeth Sennett to death. And she was stabbed 8 times in the chest and the neck. And a week after her murder, Charles Sennett, her husband, who had hired these men to murder his wife, ended up dying by suicide.
Okay.
Because he was scared, probably, that he was going to get exposed.
Yeah.
But eventually, their whole plot was found out, and Kenneth was convicted of capital murder, and he was sentenced to death. On November 17th of 2022, the state of Alabama attempted to execute Kenneth Smith by lethal injection, but they were unable to do so. He was strapped to the execution gurney for approximately 4 hours as officials struggled to establish intravenous lines, and they were unable to set the IV lines necessary for the lethal injection, leading to the execution being called off.
Okay.
And I feel like we talked about that. Following this attempt, they scheduled a new execution date for 2 years later on January 25th, 2024, using nitrogen hypoxia, which was a method that has never been used before in executions. And it basically replaces their air with pure nitrogen, which leads to death by oxygen deprivation. They ended up going through with it. But a lot of people talked about like the ethics of this because like the Human Rights Campaign came out and were basically like, yeah, that's like a super gnarly way for somebody to die.
Yeah.
And it's a way that hasn't been used in executions before.
Right.
And I feel like we might have talked about him because I believe when it first happened, like or we've talked before about people who were sentenced to death and then the executions didn't work. And then
Botched executions.
yeah, botched executions. And then they end up, you know,
Yeah,
trying to
and
be like,
what
well,
are
you
the
already did it.
ethics?
So lastly, we have the story of American journalist James Foley, and he was somebody who dedicated his life to telling stories from the world's most dangerous places.
Okay.
In 2012, he was reporting in Syria, and he was kidnapped by ISIS for nearly 2 years. And during that time, he obviously went through just unimaginable horrors. But they did a lot of psychological torture there, and hostages later recounted how James and others were often subjected to mock executions, where guards would just randomly pull them out, tell them to kneel, blindfold them, load their weapons in front of them, and then at the last second, they'd be like, all right, go back. Just fucked up. They did it over and over again, playing God, just completely breaking them down. I mean, using it as like a control tactic. But James Foley, by all accounts, everyone that was like a hostage with him that ended up getting released said that he was just the best guy, that he prayed with the other hostages and comforted them throughout the entire ordeal and just really helped keep hope alive there. But tragically, in 2014, ISIS released a video of his real execution where they publicly beheaded him and sent it as a message to America after U.S. airstrikes in Iraq.
Fuck.
I know.
Beheading's crazy.
Beheading is crazy. His death wasn't just a crime, it was also a propaganda move. And it's proof that even in today's world, the spectacle of executions, both real and staged, is all about just terrorizing people, trying to exert control and send a fucking message.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest thing I think with mock executions is like trying to prove a point or send a message.
It's terrifying.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. Like, I'm thinking about him being beheaded.
Uh-huh.
Like, how many mock executions did he go through before?
Yeah.
And if he thought...
I mean, maybe in that instance, it's like maybe he thought they'd call it off again, but who fucking knows?
I know. Or like...
Probably not. Probably every single time you're like, this is fucking it.
This is fucking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
So sad.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrible. But very interesting. Very, very interesting. I've never heard of mock executions.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like, there's obviously many more examples, but a lot of that, like, it was really popular back in the day. But
when you said it, I pictured it being like more of a propaganda thing where the person's in on it. I didn't even think about the like psychological.
Yeah.
They're not in on it.
No, terrifying. So we're going to go practice some mock executions. And when we come back, Madison will tell us what had her spinning in her coffin this week. Maybe.
Yes. Ooh, oh no.
We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week, Madison?
Well, girlies, I thought that we would dive into something that we haven't talked about in a while.
Uh-huh.
And do a third part of something that is my favorite thing ever.
What? Executions?
Torture.
Ooh.
Ooh. But some of these methods I feel like are psychological torture, which kind of, that's why I said like
little in line.
Very in line,
Yeah.
yes. But first, we're just diving into it. We're just getting tortured. Okay. So this one is so fucking crazy. It's wild. This is an old one. However, I have a few people who could benefit from this in mind.
Okay.
So you did something bad.
Uh-huh.
And now you got to be tortured.
Okay.
And honestly, you're probably going to die from this method.
Okay.
I apologize for that. But this method was used usually as a punishment for greed or some type of betrayal. There's metal, whether it's gold or silver or even lead, and it's heated up to molten levels, which, by the way, I learned something. You learned AP, and I learned that molten just refers to something being heated up so high that it
like molten lava.
Well, I thought molten lava was just a type of lava.
Oh, okay.
Like, I didn't realize, like, oh, anything could be molten.
Damn.
I know.
It's like the golden bowl.
The brazen bowl.
Brazen bowl.
The brazen bowl. Okay, so you've got metal heated up to become molten. The metal's heated up like to 2000 degrees, so it turns into like a hot, thick liquid. Then you are restrained. Your mouth is forced open.
Oh.
And the molten gold, this is called molten gold torture, but it, molten silver, molten gold, molten lead. It is poured down your throat.
Damn.
Okay? It immediately destroys your throat, obviously. But also, I guess the pressure from the heat and the steam can make your head or your chest explode.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't
That is
fucked?
not how I want my throat destroyed.
Oh, remember you bought a throat goat
Hat?
hat?
Yeah.
And I was mad.
And I wore it with pride.
And I was like, girl, don't do that.
Jealous.
I was reading more about this on smithsonianmag.com, and they referenced a blog that referenced a journal of clinical pathology. And I guess these people investigated what exactly happens when molten metal is poured down your throat. So what they did, and it says here, quote, "We obtained a bovine larynx from a local slaughterhouse. No animal was harmed or killed specifically for this purpose. After fixing the larynx in a horizontal position to a piece of wood and closing the distal end using tissue paper, 750 grams of pure lead, around 450 degrees Celsius, was heated until melting and then poured into the larynx.
It just burned right through it.
Yes, immediately large amounts of steam appeared at both ends of the specimen, and the cloth of tissue was expelled with force by the steam. Within 10 seconds, the lead had congealed again, completely filling the larynx.
Ugh.
Which tells me that if your head didn't explode, if your chest didn't explode, you were going to be choked out because it would harden.
Yeah, I think it would just fall out or something.
Fuck, it's fucked up. On Game of Thrones season 1, they did this type of torture on someone, but they poured the gold on the person's head and it killed them.
Oh.
I couldn't get past the first 2 episodes.
I couldn't get past the first. I tried 3 different times. I'm sorry, girls. You're smarter than us.
Yeah.
And the thing is, actually, maybe.
No, I tried it maybe a year ago.
Yeah, same, actually.
It
But I was going to be because we love that era. We love learning about that era
I
and
know,
stuff.
but it's not it.
It feels so smart.
It does. It does. It feels smart and slow.
Yeah.
And I'm dumb and fast.
We are dumb and fast, baby.
Our next one is pitch capping. Have you ever heard of this?
Yep.
Okay, why don't you tell us? Muted! Ooh!
No, let's hear it.
Okay, it's sort of like the same hot idea of molten gold torture, a little different and not as brutal, but still pretty fucked up.
Okay.
It was a form of torture, and I kind of think about it as like the party hat from hell.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and you'll see why. It was actually famously or infamously used by British forces during the Irish Rebellion of 1798. During this time, I guess the Irish were ruled by the British and they wanted out, so they started a revolution. They basically wanted a free Ireland.
Well, yeah, they were treated horribly by Britain.
Yeah, they were treated absolutely terribly.
That's why they all cheered when the Queen died.
Oh, they did?
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. This particular Irish rebellion only lasted for 1798. And the British came in and fucked them up, basically, and crushed the rebellion. It was terrible, and it brought about pitch capping and something else, too, that I'll talk about right after pitch capping. But pitch capping. So you're captured or, it's time for you to be tortured. The British would take the person and shave their head, and then they would take hot tar or pitch. Pitch is like a sticky substance like tar. and they would pour it directly into either a metal hat or into a conical paper. And I was like, what the fuck's a conical paper? But conical paper was just paper rolled into a triangle. So literally
Kind of like a dunce cap.
like a dunce cap or like a party cap.
Oh, yeah.
So the tar was poured into there. Then while the tar is smoldering, the hat is pushed down onto the victim's head until it hardens onto their head. And then not only did that fucking hurt, boiling hot, whatever, then once it hardened, it was violently ripped off.
Ugh, fuck.
Terrible. I'll post pics. There's so many illustrations of this happening, but it left severe burns and scarring if you were lucky. Sometimes there was trauma to the brain or your skull was just left exposed. Also, because of like the scarring and just the exposed wounds, it opened up so many people to a lot of infection and disease. And some people died from the infection or even blood loss.
Fuck.
But another torture method that was used during this Irish Rebellion time was called half hanging. So half hanging is kind of what it sounds like. You're partially hanged. So you're basically...
That feels like mock execution status.
Yeah, you're basically strangled until you're unconscious or just on the verge of dying, and then you're cut down and revived. But then, just when you're revived, you have to go through the whole thing over and over and over again. So it wasn't meant to kill you. It was more of like an interrogation torture tactic.
Yeah, so literally like a mock execution.
It's fucked. Could you imagine?
No.
It was always done in public, like in town squares. It was sometimes combined with the pitch capping and floggings. And you were basically half hanged until you talked. So although it wasn't like a clean hang, like people's neck didn't break, which is why they were able to be revived, sometimes they were accidentally killed during the process. And just like mock execution, if you were lucky enough to survive it, you probably had a shit ton of trauma, permanent brain damage from loss of oxygen, broken bones, collapsed windpipes. Just terrible.
God.
Okay, this next torture method is a psychological torture method, and it's something that we've never covered, but it's fucked up. It's called white torture, and I never heard of this. White torture or white room torture.
Okay.
And it's not super widely documented. However, it is said to have been used by Iranian intelligence, but also used by US intelligence. Again, kind of like an interrogation tactic. So the person being tortured is put into a completely white room. So we're talking white floors, white walls, white ceilings, and white lighting. And when this method is talked about and documented, it's used in sort of like a prison setting. So there's multiple prisoners being subject to this.
Okay.
Also, the prisoner is dressed in white. Only white foods are served. So like white rice.
Bread.
Yes, and no seasoning, very bland because they didn't want any smells.
That's white people
either.
food.
That's white people food, yeah. It was also completely silent, completely soundproof. Guards wore padded shoes. No clocks could tick. No echoes. And even they like positioned the lights in there for there to never be any shadows. So literally all you are seeing is white. You're not hearing sound. The only color you're seeing is white. You're not smelling anything. Okay. And you're basically in absolute isolation. No human contact, no books, no writing, no tools to write, no windows.
So sterile. It feels like the Severance office.
So sterile. Yes. Already we have a few senses being muted, but on top of that, every texture was incredibly smooth. They're basically playing on every single sense that you have. So you're not touching anything that has any texture. So everything is smooth. So literally you are being just muted out.
I kind of want to go there just
I-
for a moment. It feels peaceful.
I
Clear my
literally
brain.
I know. I literally was thinking that, but I'll explain why it's not. It's so awful and fucked up because it distorts your perception of everything. So
Mm.
our brains rely on our senses to basically stay grounded and in touch with reality.
Right.
So no color, no voices, not even a reflection of yourself.
Unless you're in there with other people, then there's probably some noise.
They kept
Those
them
separate?
and
Oh.
soundproof. And the guards wore padded everything, so you don't hear
Yeah,
anything.
it would drive you insane.
It would drive you insane. People start to go crazy. They start hallucinating. They start disassociating. In the news in 2008, there was a man who came out of one of these torture experiences, and he talked about his experience. He was an Iranian journalist named Amir, and he recalled that he endured 8 months of this.
Oh my God. I cannot imagine that for 8 months.
I know. And he basically said that he was not human anymore, and it was worse than any type of physical torture. And also, just a word on this, I guess sometimes it's passed off as, oh, it's just solitary confinement, which we already know is bad and mind fucking.
Yeah.
But this, like, takes it to a whole nother level. It's so much more
It's
methodical.
like, hi, we're actually erasing the world.
Yeah, exactly. But on the other side of that, we have another torture method, which is sensory overload.
Oh God, I'd go nuts.
I know. Instead of torturing you with nothingness, you're getting fucking everything and anything thrown at you. And although this form is completely opposite of the white torture, it still kind of does a similar thing. Like it completely disrupts all of your senses.
Mm.
This has been used in past situations, and I know that you've talked about this cult leader, but remember in Texas, there was like a cult started and they like hid in their house for like days, and there was like a shootout, and then
Yeah, Waco, the
Waco.
siege, yeah.
Yes, Waco. Cops had to bring in loud music, strobe lights, like
Yeah.
to get them out. So it just reminded me of that. It's also been used like tactics with protesters.
Yeah, what are those sonar
Yeah.
things?
Yep.
Yeah.
After 9/11, the CIA used sensory overload as like their prime method of psychological torture. It could be all of your senses fucked with at once or one at a time, but this would include loud music. So, like the same song or sound played on loop for hours or days.
I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but I heard they did that with like the Justin Bieber song Baby.
Really?
Yeah.
To who?
To like torture people.
I was reading about Baby Shark.
Oh, yeah.
Like that could induce.
I'd be in there singing like, Mama Shark.
Turn it up. Yeah.
Can we have it louder, please?
Yeah. A lot of times they use death metal because it's like so loud, or religious chants too.
Oh.
Yeah. Like after a while, anything.
Anything's annoying.
feels torturous.
Oh, I do it to myself all the time. I'll find a song, I'll love it, and then I'll make myself listen to it so many times until I hate it.
Can't hear it. Yep, I know. Also, there's lighting that will be fucked with. So think lights that never turn off, or strobe lights nonstop.
Oh, I'd hate it.
I'd hate it too.
I'd love it for the first hour. I'd be like,
Uh-huh. I actually wouldn't. I wouldn't last even a minute.
No, because you'd
probably.
be nauseous.
I'd be so nauseous.
Yeah.
Those are the two that like I know pretty well. Like when I think about sensory overload, I think of that. But then they talked about temperature. So they would change the temperature. Like even in interrogation rooms, it's like
hot then cold then hot.
hot then cold then hot, and you just have to like adjust.
That's my nightmare. I get hot real easy.
And then sleep deprivation is another one. But the reason that this type of torture works so well to get people to talk is because it fucks with our nervous system so much and Our nervous system is not built to handle nonstop stimulation.
Isn't that crazy? It's like such a simple process almost of like, hey, people can't psychologically handle this.
Mhm.
Like, and if we do these things to their bodies,
Yeah.
they'll give up the truth.
Yeah, totally.
It's crazy.
That's why my eye was crazy last week because my nervous system was on overdrive.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah, and our nervous system needs a break, and this type of torture plays on the fact that you can't really like filter anything out or be rational after a while when
Right.
all of your senses are firing. So this induces panic attacks, hallucinations, loss of speech, memory loss, and hysteria. It's terrible. But before I go and stop talking about torture,
Uh-huh.
I want to leave you with like a little cousin to the gossip's bridal.
Ooh.
Okay. It fucking makes me laugh, and my ass would totally be subject to this form of torture. And you, about 15 years ago, probably would have too. Okay.
Okay.
This is called the Newcastle Cloak, and I will put some illustrations up too because it's fucking crazy and hilarious. This torture method was all about shame. It was the 16th century's way of making a public spectacle of your drinking problem.
Oh.
Okay. During the 15 and 1600s, I guess Puritans were trying to suppress or curb people being drunk in public. There was like this whole moral panic around that time because everyone was stressed out and everybody was drinking. Alcohol was cheap and it took the edge off. So like literally everyone was drinking
Yeah.
in public and you know, religion at the time, they were like, this needs to fucking stop. So
Right.
they came up with a way to start shaming everybody for it. So to crack down, if you were caught being drunk in public, you were given a huge barrel. So like the like wine barrel or like a whiskey barrel,
Yeah.
like the big barrels. And it had a cutout for your head and a cutout for your legs and a cutout for your arms.
Bring it back.
And you had to be put in it and marched around town.
Bring it back.
But you were still drunk doing it too.
Would they make you drink or they just did it while you were still drunk?
They did it like as soon as they caught you, you're getting in that
They
barrel.
should do that to people that get DUIs and stuff.
That yes, absolutely.
Walk them through town.
But I just imagine like, okay, we're in a medieval town.
Uh-huh.
There's gossipers with the things on their heads. Us. And then there's the drunk people in their barrels. It probably looked insane. There's people having guns held to their head and not going off with
Yeah.
the mock execution.
What a time.
What a time to be alive.
Honestly, though, I think they should bring that back. If I was like in politics,
Uh-huh.
I'd be like, we're doing that. Because I bet your fucking ass there are people that would drive drunk less if they knew they were going to have to be paraded around in a barrel than just
Absolutely.
having to pay a fine.
Absolutely. 1,000%. I think driving drunk's the dumbest thing you can
Bring
do.
back public humiliation.
I know. I love it.
And so that's our call to action.
Yes.
If you learned anything from this episode on mock executions and torture methods, it's we need to bring back public humiliation. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Maybe everyone would start acting right
Yeah.
and not wear pajamas to the
Uh-huh.
grocery store.
Yeah.
And trust me, I would love to, but I don't. I'm sure I have, but I don't. I just show my pussy on the
Oh, yeah.
camera.
I love it.
Oh, God. And there you have it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for that. And I hope we get tortured for a fourth time from you.
Oh, we will.
Okay, well, now it's time to torture you with some obituaries.
Ooh.
Okay, I have the obituary for Rick Stein from October 7th, 2018. Wilmington. Rick Stein, 71, of Wilmington, was reported missing and presumed dead on September 27th of 2018 when investigators say the single-engine plane he was piloting, the Northrop, suddenly lost communication with air traffic control and disappeared over the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Rehoboth Beach. Philadelphia police confirmed Stein had been a patient at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, where he was being treated for a rare form of cancer. The hospital spokesman Walter Heisenberg said doctors from Stein's surgical team went to visit him on rounds when they discovered his room was empty. Security footage showed him leaving the building at approximately 3:30 Thursday afternoon, and then the video feed mysteriously cuts off. Authorities say they believe Stein took an Uber to the Philadelphia airport where they assume he somehow gained access to the aircraft.
Is this that video of that guy going around? No.
The C was angry that day, said NTSB lead investigator Greg Fields in a press conference. We have no idea where Mr. Stein may be, but any hope for a rescue is unlikely. His location isn't the only mystery. It seems no one in his life knew his exact occupation.
Oh.
His daughter, Alex Walsh of Wilmington, appeared shocked by the news. My dad couldn't even fly a plane. He owned restaurants in Boulder, Colorado, and he knew every answer on Jeopardy. He did the New York Times crossword in pen, and I talked to him that day, and he told me he was going to get some grappa. All he ever wanted was a glass of grappa. Stein's brother, Jim, echoed similar confusion. Rick and I owned Stuart Kingston Galleries together. He was a jeweler and a rug dealer, not a pilot. Meanwhile, Missile Leddington of Charlottesville claimed her brother was a cartoonist and a freelance television critic for the New Yorker.
No.
This gets wild. David Welsh, Stein's son-in-law, said he was certain Stein was a political satirist for the Huffington Post, while grandsons Drake and Sam said they believed Stein wrote an internet sports column for ESPN covering Duke basketball, FC Barcelona soccer, the Denver Broncos, and the Tour de France. His granddaughter, Evangeline, claims he was a YouTube sensation who had just signed a 7-figure deal with Netflix.
What?
When told of his uncle's disappearance, Edward Stein said he was baffled since he believed Stein worked as a trail guide in the Rocky Mountain National Park. He took me up on a hike to the Lily Peak Trail back in the 90s. He knew every berry, bush, and tree on that trail.
Oh, he's like CIA or something.
Nephew James Stein of Los Angeles claimed his uncle was an A&R consultant for Bad Boy Records and ran a chain of legal recreational marijuana dispensaries in Colorado called Casablanca. Niece Courtney Stein, a former Hollywood agent, said her uncle worked as a contributing writer for Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm and was currently consulting on a new series with Larry David. People who knew Stein have reported his occupation as everything from gourmet chef and sommelier to botanist, electrician, mechanic, and even spy novelist. Police say the volume of contradictory information will make it nearly impossible to pinpoint Stein's exact location. In fact, the only person who might be able to answer the question, who is the real Rick Stein, is his wife and constant companion for the past 14 years, Susan Stein. Detectives say they were unable to interview Mrs. Stein. However, neighbors say they have witnessed her leaving the home the couple shared wearing dark sunglasses and a fedora, loading multiple suitcases into her car. FAA records show she purchased a one-way ticket to Rome, which was Mr. Stein's favorite city, and an anonymous source with the airline reports the name used to book the other ticket was Juan Morford de Road, which, according to the FBI, was an alias Stein used for many years. That is one story. Another story is that Rick never left the hospital and died peacefully with his wife and daughter holding tightly to his hands.
Oh my God!
You could choose which version you want to believe or share your own story about Rick with us at the Greenville Country Club on Friday, November 9th, 2018.
Oh,
from 3 to 6 p.m.
I love that! Oh,
Was that not incredible?
that yanked my chain. I really thought, like, oh, he's a spy. He for sure is a fucking spy.
It's
How
honestly
fun.
one of my favorite obituaries.
That is the most fun obituary. That is the most fun.
I love it.
Oh, I love it.
I love it.
That's incredible. That's a top contender right there. That's insane.
Like, never forget.
Never forget.
I love it.
Oh my God, I love it. Wow. Okay, how do I compete with that? Well, I have a really terrible, horrible death notice from 1898.
Okay.
An oldie.
Let's hear it.
The Lafayette Weekly Courier. Horrible self-torture. Maryland woman uses coal, oil, and fire to kill herself.
Oh, shit.
November 24th, Miss Clarice Swartz, aged 42 years old, daughter of ex-mayor John D. Swartz, committed suicide late last night in a horrible manner. She had been in poor health for some time. Last night, she retired early. About midnight, her father was awakened by a stifling smoke. Believing the house to be on fire, he started to awaken his daughter. The door of her room was locked. He burst in and was horrified to see his daughter lying unconscious in a bed of flames. She was rapidly being cremated alive. He dragged her from the blazing bed. Her nightdress was burned from her body, and parts of her limbs and body were nearly burned to a crisp.
Jesus.
Other members of the family gave the alarm, and the fire department extinguished the fire in the room. It was then discovered that the woman diverted herself of her clothing, wrapped herself in sheets partly saturated with kerosene oil, lay down on the bed, and applied the match. Although her suffering was frightful, she never uttered an outcry. She lingered a few hours and died.
Oh my God.
Isn't that terrible? They said she was being cremated alive.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Torture. Self-torture.
Yep,
If I've ever heard it.
very, very bad.
Well, we'll be done torturing you all soon, but we have one more little segment for you guys this evening. We have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched so many obituaries.
Means it's time for some dumb
Ass
Criminals.
criminals.
Okay. Dumbass criminal number 399. This is a wild fucking story that's currently unfolding here in Southern California in the Eagle Rock neighborhood of Los Angeles, to be specific.
Is this the Weezer?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I need to know, like, details.
So I'm going to read you guys this article from KTLA because part of it had me rolling because it's so cartoon. It's giving cartoon.
Okay.
It's giving cartoon. Quote, an already bizarre story involving a crash on a Los Angeles freeway, a manhunt, and the arrest of a man in his underwear, and police shooting of an uninvolved woman has now taken an even more surreal twist.
He was in his underwear?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Jillian Schreiner, 51, wife of Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner, was the uninvolved woman shot by police and now faces charges for attempted murder, according to an LAPD news release. The April 8th incident began in the eastbound lanes of the 134 freeway west of Figueroa Street in Eagle Rock at around 3 p.m. California Highway Patrol responded to reports of a 3-car crash in which 3 males in one of the involved vehicles fled the freeway on foot, prompting CHP to call LAPD for backup. One of the suspects, who was chased off the freeway by a brother and sister who witnessed the crash, got into the Eagle Rock neighborhood, stripped down to his boxers, jumped into a resident's pool, and watered their garden in an attempt to blend in.
I did not know this. What?
While police were searching backyards for the suspect in the area of Eagle Vista Drive and Waldo Place, the bassist's wife allegedly emerged from her home next door armed with a gun.
Okay.
Police said Schreiner refused multiple orders to drop the firearm before pointing it at officers, prompting them to open fire. The 51-year-old was struck in the shoulder by police gunfire and retreated into her home. Because I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I more so pictured like she ran out because there was someone trying to get into their houses.
I thought
and
she
shit.
was defending more so. I didn't know she
No, girl, she
pointed.
pointed the gun at the police. Shortly after that, Sky 5 was over the scene where the suspect in his underwear was captured, cuffed, and arrested. And they caught aerial footage of Schreiner and another woman, reportedly her child's babysitter, coming out of the residence of the 1200 block of Eagle Vista Drive with their hands up. The 2 women were ordered to walk down the driveway and told to lie on the street while police took them into custody. Because after she got shot, I guess she had to ran back into her house. The LA Fire Department, who were on standby, put the 51-year-old into an ambulance, took her to the hospital where she was treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound, police said. Police on Tuesday evening told KTLA that both Schreiner and the babysitter were questioned and later released. In Wednesday's news relief, officials said she was booked absentee for attempted murder and that a 9mm handgun was recovered from the residence. The other 2 suspects, who allegedly fled the scene of the crash on the 134 freeway, are still at large.
She created a bigger distraction and
for
a
them to
bigger
get away.
nuisance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe we don't know yet. Things will unfold. Maybe she was in on it. But
No.
I saw
On the car crash.
Oh yeah, that's true. I saw today on TMZ, they interviewed her husband. He was out on a walk and they were like, is your wife okay? And he's like, yeah, we're doing fine. Look at us. And he was like walking 3 dogs. And then they were asking him questions. And he's like, I can't answer any of this. Like, you know that. I can't answer.
Maybe it was a situation where she didn't realize she was pointing it at them or something. Like, I don't know.
I don't know, but they asked him if he was going to be at Coachella this weekend because Weezer's playing, I guess. And
I've seen them at Coachella before.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
Oh.
It's one of those bands you go and see and you forget how many of their songs that you know.
Oh, okay, okay. That's a good example. And he said, yeah, of course I'm going to be there. I'm like, girl, what?
He's living his life, girl.
Maybe there were things. I'd like you to give us updates.
Yeah, we don't know the full story. We'll find out more.
Yeah.
Well, and I want to talk to people that I know that live in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
And find out if
Find out
I actually
the
am
tea.
shocked I haven't. I need to.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I have another LA-based situation. So this is taking place in Beverly Hills. And this
Beverly Hills.
is that what they sing?
That's
Yeah. How funny. Okay, I'm going to play this video
Okay.
and I just need you to watch, okay?
We have not slept one night in 3 months. We've been terrorized, traumatized. It's like a bad nightmare movie.
A horror film that won't end. And many residents inside the Beverly Hills Regency says it's because of this woman, who they call violent and dangerous.
We're talking Sharon Stone final scene casino. She's tried to set the building on fire with a hot scalding frying pan, which she's ran after me with. At 3 a.m., she'll start donkey kicking my door.
And she takes her feces and smears it all over the building.
Oh my.
She's also threatened
Wait, they interview her.
tenants with a knife. My door is slashed. This woman has clearly and violently assaulted the building manager, which she was arrested for.
We spoke to Jacqueline Saville inside her apartment about a month ago, who says it's a misunderstanding.
I did nothing. This is crazy. I have a machete.
I believe her.
Do I have a machete?
We have not slept one night.
Do I have a machete? So the dumbass is Jacqueline, and this was posted by Fox 11
Uh-huh.
20 hours ago. So this is ongoing in Beverly Hills, and we'll post the
Okay,
video.
so that building I've been in.
How?
So back when I worked for a brand, I had to
Okay.
go do hair for this kind of famous influencer.
Okay.
I won't name names. She dated a very famous celebrity.
Okay.
It was one of the last things I ever did like that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God. I was so over it at that point.
Yeah.
She was such a bitch.
Really?
Oh, such a bitch. She just kept showing pictures of Kim Kardashian, like wanting to
Be her?
be her. But I remember leaving. I had no fucking idea who she was, but I just remember leaving and I had like an assistant there, like a camera person or whatever to film it all. And we left and I was like, dude, what the fuck? She's a bitch. And we Googled her because I was like, I need to know who this person is. She had attempted to stab somebody before. So I was like,
She
thank God
did?
I didn't say anything.
Maybe she's related to this person.
Yeah,
or maybe
they're
there's
neighbors.
a demonic force in there
Something in that building.
causing people to go nuts.
Oh, God.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you have it.
There you have it.
Don't forget to enter our Big Hot giveaway
Oh
by
my gosh.
subscribing to our YouTube channel at Obituary Podcast on YouTube. And that's it for the week. We'll be back next week.
Oh, with some more
Coffin Spinners
obituaries.
and
Ask
criminals. Goodbye.
Bye.